Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Let's get straight into this show here today. So Stephen A. Smith is back in the news again, but this time he's dissing LeBron James, something that it seems like he cannot restrain himself from doing. I believe, this is just my take on things here, I believe that number one, Stephen A. Smith loves to be talked about. He loves when people talk about him so he can respond to them. And every once in a while, he likes to talk about other people just so the conversation can revolve around. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a LeBron fan by any stretch of the imagination, but when LeBron said that he would be sitting there in his tidy whities enjoying this with a bucket of ice cream or whatever it is, he was correct. Stephen A. Smith takes offense to everything. Even if a Knicks player, Josh Hart, makes a comment, he'll go on ESPN live TV to take a personal thing that he's having with a player and make the entire show about him. So he loves this kind of, don't get it twisted. He loves it. He lives for the attention here. He lives for it. So what happened? LeBron recently made some comments about the city of Memphis, how the team needs to move, the NBA needs to move the team from out of there. It's a bad city or whatever. He doesn't like the Hyatt that stays there, whatever. I've never been to Memphis, so I don't know. And, you know, Memphis has a lot of black people that are there. And some blacks took offense to it. Some blacks defended him and all that. Some other NBA players said, look, this isn't the only person that said this. I think Kevin Durant has been quoted about saying stuff about Memphis, blah, blah. So it seems to be a comment. I don't have any comments on Memphis because, again, I've never been there, right? But one person that took exception to it to the point where he decided to make an entire segment about it on his channel was Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith decided to accuse LeBron James, believe it or not, of reverse racism, being racist against his own people. And he was talking about the optics of it. Meanwhile, all Stephen A. Smith does is attack blacks every single day. But before we even get into his comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, it's that time of the year. The playoff push is on. Tournament hoops are in full swing, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on all the clutch buckets and slam dunks than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app, where it always feels good to be right. I finally jumped into their team picks feature, and I had no idea why I waited this long. First time I tried it, I was picking game winners and totals on basketball, and I actually came out right on my first one. But even more than that, watching the game just hits different. Every basket, every run, every late game stop actually meant something. And here's what makes it even better. It's not just individual games. On Prize Picks, you can pick who cuts down the nets, who wins the whole thing, who takes home the MVP, tournament, playoffs, even the international baseball tournament. You can call your own shot on all of it and cash in if you're right. Teams picks are live right now in 35 states. California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and more, all in the same Prize Picks app you already know. Download the Prize Picks apps today, pick your first game winner, spreads, or totals as the playoff push rolls on, and get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is good to be right. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is we want to play Stephen A. Smith's comments towards LeBron James. I want you guys to watch it, and then we'll come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
It's a bunch of white dudes on a golf course, knowing the cameras are rolling and videoing you without any regard for what kind of effect that would have on a black populace is problematic. Especially when I don't know if it was your sneakers or whatever it was that you just finished promoting months ago about black history and Martin Luther King and civil rights. I think you wore sneakers or something commemorating all of that. When I spoke about what this city needs in order to look out for the vast majority of its citizens who happen to be black that are living there. I did it right here on the mic and the cameras, with the cameras rolling. Dead serious as hell. Because I ain't trying to let nobody off the hook on that. I wasn't dressed in shorts, lollygagging on a golf course with a bunch of peeps that don't look anything like the folks that reside in Memphis. That's where it was foul. That was my take on it earlier this morning. That is still my take on it today. LeBron wasn't all wrong. LeBron said some very wise and on-point things about that. But other stuff was foul, particularly how flippant he was in saying it without any regard or sensitivity to black folks in Memphis. Especially when he's got his I Promise school in Akron, Ohio, specifically designed to help uplift and improve the lives of black individuals and beyond from impoverished neighborhoods in that area. He clearly has sensitivity to those folks from his hometown. One would like to believe he has the same level of sensitivity to those folks everywhere. And I'm sure he does. It just didn't look like that on the golf course with a bunch of white boys surrounding him. Optics matter. Appearances matter. And words coming out of LeBron James' mouth about such a sensitive subject required a little bit more seriousness to the subject, not just as it pertains to his words, but also his surroundings. And that much needs to be said.
Fantastic. So you heard what he had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Stephen A. Smith cannot be taken seriously. He just can't. He just can't. Again, I am not a LeBron James fan. But if you look at Stephen A. Smith and LeBron, Stephen A. Smith has a documented history of going at black athletes. That's his whole story. Like, he has a documented history of it. And he always tends to pull the punch when it comes to white athletes. So I just find it to be so ironic and ridiculous that this guy is talking about the optics of a black man going after black people. You just can't make it up, Stephen A. Weren't you being called out by prominent black figures all of last year for going at Jasmine Cross? How many people called you out? How many? Don Lemon, Willie D, D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin, and a whole host of voices were calling you out. A whole host. Where were all these people that were calling out LeBron James for attacking the black community? You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious. Yes, can you view some of what LeBron said as being foul? Sure. Do I care to the point where I'm going to do an entire segment of it on my show? You have a political show. Of all the things that are happening right now in the world, this is what you decide to devote your energy to? We just had 2 or 3 F-15 jets that were shot down in Iran. Jets that are worth $97 million per unit. But you're here talking about what LeBron said on a damn golf course. You're talking about the optics of a guy golfing with a bunch of white people, making these comments towards black. Bro, Stephen A., do we need to remind you on all the shows you've been on doing the same thing? You've been on Valuetainment. You've been on Chris Cuomo's show. You've been on so many doing the exact same thing. But LeBron is an easy target. Let's just keep it real. He's an easy target for you. Let's put it this way. Right? I don't think LeBron meant it in a black way. I just think he meant it in terms of talking about the city. I don't think he meant to diss black people. But you took it there. But you're the last person to take it there. That should be taking it there. You are the very last person on earth that should be trying to make this argument against LeBron. You, the black argument, really? With all the things that's been said about you, you want to make this argument? Are you even joking? Come on, man. You can't be serious. You cannot even begin to be serious. You can't. So to me, I think he clout chasing. Y'all may think, oh, Stephen A. is on ESPN. He clout chasing off a dude right now, bro. He looking for something to talk about. And that's what it is. We are now in the clout chasing era of sports media. Go look at the last 2 weeks. What are the biggest stories in sports media? Who's beefing with who? This guy got a beef with that guy got a beef with this guy got a beef. I'm going to diss him. He going to respond to me. He diss him. That was the whole story. And he part of it. I guess that got stale. So, let me go LeBron here. Come on, man. Like, enough is enough with this nonsense, man. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave them in the comments. We catch you guys on the next show and I'm out. Peace.